Hey, I'm Sebastian Pearson, Director of Athletic Performance here for the Utah Warriors. And today what we're going to do is give you a tour of the brand new weight room here at Warriors HQ. Weight room's designed, we have 7 double-sided half power racks, which gives us 14 stations for the guys to lift at. Each side has a slightly different purpose so that we can do different things, but also potentially split the weight room. So we're lifting the whole team, we can still lift backs and forwards and have a slightly different session. On this side here, we have the 45-degree flying uprights. This allows us to do a lot of band-assisted power training, overspeed work, but then also some band-assisted lifting on our main strength movements as well, allow for some accommodating resistance. We also have on this side the main storage portion of the racks, right? So we can store our trap bars, our barbells, and then of course, our Olympic quality bumper plates that were provided as well. As we come over to the other side, each rack is connected and bridged together, which gives us more stability for a lot of the movements that we're doing, but also again allows us to include attachments like the TRX straps for any sort of accessory work as well that we potentially do here in the weight room. On this side of the room, the 7 power racks that we have are equipped with the Shark adjustable jammer arms, with the purpose of the room being around athletic performance and not just strength development. These jammer arms provide us with a huge toolbox of different ways that we can train power in our athletes, and also in specific ways that they also need within like the demands of the sport and their positional demands that they play as well. So the arms themselves are adjustable with the handles up and down the arm, but also the bracket here on the rack actually allows for an adjustable start position. So for, say, example, our forwards can do line-out specific lifting with a specific start position from the arm, and then also an increased level of variety with movements that we can do because the arms are easily moved up and down the rack as well. So the 7 racks on this side are also set up and designed in a way that athletes can lift not only outside the rack, but inside the rack as well. So any sort of like Olympic lifting, power training, things like that can happen outside the rack, but then any sort of like band resisted compound movements can be very easily set up inside the rack. With the pinpipe safeties, we have it set up so that we can do overcoming isometrics, which have huge application in athletic performance. So the way the racks are designed provides us with a huge amount of options and different ways that we can provide a potent stimulus to our athletes and physically prepare them really well for the on-field demands of the game. The program is heavily designed around the use of velocity-based training. So each rack has a tablet. The tablet is not only displaying the athlete's position-specific programming and any individualizations they need, but it's also displaying the Vitruve app that we use. So this app, where the athletes will record their weights, the specific movements they're doing, and we're prescribing intensity based off bar speed rather than percentage of 1 rep max. And that's the device that you see right here attached to the spotter arm. The device here is magnetized to the rack and tethered to the bar. So anytime an athlete completes an action, instantaneously the speed of that action is displayed on the iPad, and the athlete will know right away if they're within the prescribed velocity zone for that day. These are the Gorila Silverback plyo boxes. So these are a very heavy, high-density foam plyo box, where each plyo box is actually 3 separate heights that we can use for varying things, not just jumping, but also for box squatting and other things like that. Again, they're very high-density foam and they're really heavy, so even at their tallest setting of 30 inches, they're incredibly stable as well. The way the room is set up is that this is the main weight room area, and using the double-sided racks allowed us to maximize space, which allowed us to create this turf area. This turf area allows us to effectively use our Gorila prowler sleds for strength development, speed development, any other applications for rugby, like scrum specific strength for our front row players and our second row players as well. So all 7 of these stations are completely identical, which allows each rack to be its own ecosystem. So for each group of athletes that's at their rack, they never have to move anywhere else other than to the turf to complete their session. So by having it set up in this way, we can have a highly effective session plan for these guys that is individualized for their program, but they can stay right here at this rack, and everything they need to do can be done here at this one station. The final part of it is just our dumbbell area over here. So again, any sort of like kettlebell training, metaball stuff we can do over here, and our prehab rehab guys use this area a lot. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Thanks for joining us. Hope you guys liked it, and maybe we'll see you here someday checking things out.